This build right here is one that I think I'm probably going to play in Arena. I think it has a lot of utility. You are missing a teeny tiny bit of self-healing with this particular version, but it's a good mix of offense and defense. I mean, and you're not going to be doing Arena as a warrior, any kind of serious Arena as a warrior without a healer. And even in the case that you do have a healer in Arena, I don't think Blood Craze is going to save you. So anyway, here's what we got. You take all the points in War Academy to make Mortal Strike do more damage. And Slam, I guess, is kind of funny. Victory Rush even does more damage, which is kind of silly. But basically buffing Mortal Strike. You're increasing all healing you get and your self-healing. You're making your charge give you extra rage and stun 2 nearby targets. We are taking second wind, so you get rage and health when you get stunned or rooted. We're taking deep wounds, of course, into Impale. We are not taking sweeping strikes in this build, but we are, of course, taking Taste for Blood. I do like improved hamstring. I need to make sure I'm using this more often. It also reduces the global cooldown of hamstring, so it's a faster, like, global. Still taking Deadly Calm. I mean, I'm not really super impressed with this ability. It's a 2-minute cooldown to just make your abilities free. It's definitely helps you get the battle started, though, so I'll take it for now. Blood Frenzy. Making them take extra physical damage. Making them take more bleed damage. And your auto attacks have a chance to generate extra rage. Some of these talents are just loaded with stuff that they do. Like this one buffs the damage of Slam, Overpower, Execute. But also makes your Mortal Strike refresh rend on the target, which is really nice. Then we have Juggernaut, which means that you can charge in combat. It's also a lower cooldown. It also means that your Mortal Strike and Slam have a chance to crit. Like, it's a ton of stuff going on there. I'm not really using Slam as this build. If you want to play Slam, I'll show you another build. Then Sudden Death lets you keep some rage after Execute, but also primarily is giving you a chance to reset Colossus Smash. And Colossus Smash feels like it resets a lot because it's off of any melee hit. Wrecking Crew, Mortal Strike crits enrage you, giving you more damage for 12 seconds and need that. Throwdown, a pretty fun stun, costs rage, 45-second cooldown, knocks the target down and stuns them for 5 seconds. And there's this weird thing where if you trinket a throwdown, like you have to like still get up. It's odd. Like if you trinket instantly. And then the Bladestorm, of course. Need Bladestorm. Now I'm still putting 2 points in Cruelty for extra crit chance on Mortal Strike. Now we're going over here for Incite, which increases the critical strike chance of Heroic Strike by 15% and gives it a 100% chance for the next one to also crit, which is pretty cool. The guaranteed crits cannot re-trigger the Incite effect, though, so there's that to consider. Instead of going Armor, I'm actually going Blood and Thunder to Thunderclap Rend around, which is kind of a fun idea. And this is why you're putting so many points in Prot for Gag Order. So it gives your Pummel and Heroic Throw a 3-second silence. So even if you miss Pummel, they're still silenced. You don't lock them out, but they're silenced. But it also makes it DR with other silence effects, so keep that in mind. But it also lowers the cooldown on Heroic Throw by 30 seconds. So you just get like a ranged silence for like a caster or your focus target every 30 seconds, which is very disruptive. So you have like Charge Stun, Fear, you know, and then silence for a healer if you wanted to throw down the DPS that you're kidding. So that's pretty cool. In terms of glyphs, I'm going Mortal Strike Glyph, Overpower Glyph, Bladestorm Glyph. There's not really anything else that you want for prime glyphs for arms. If you really were going all in on Slam spec, you could do the crit chance of Slam. I still don't think it's as good as these, though. This is just damage on Overpower, damage on Mortal Strike, reduced cooldown on Bladestorm is very nice. Now, major glyphs are kind of interesting. I opted just for long charge and short cooldown. The 1 second cooldown might not make that much of a difference, but it actually also might. This also might not make that much of a difference, but again, it also might. And then I was actually thinking of playing Spell Reflect Glyph. Reduces the CD on Spell Reflection by 5 seconds, which makes it a 20-second cooldown. That's kind of good. But I really like Colossus Smash Glyph. That also applies a Sunder to your target. I love that glyph, so I'm going to play that one. You have some other ones that are kind of interesting, potentially. We're not playing Piercing Howl. We're not playing Sweeping Strikes. There's really nothing else that's like that great, I think. And then for minor glyphs, I just go Battle, Berserker, Rage, Demoralizing Shout. That's easy enough. These other ones are like kind of interesting, but it's not that great. Not that great. So that's what I'm doing for that build, for arms. I'm probably going to mostly play this for Arena, I would imagine. But just because I have this spec here, I dinked around with this while I was leveling. It's almost all the same thing, except for I'm not going into prot at all. I'm doing 3 points in Blood Craze and 1 point in Piercing Howl. And then we take 2 points in Slam. So everything else is, and we're doing Sweeping Strikes. So that's where the other points go. Slam is kind of interesting. I still don't glyph for Slam. All my glyphs are still like kind of the same except for this. But I just use Sweeping Strikes. Cost no rage. There's some reason to test out Drums of War. That could be kind of interesting, so that you never have to worry about not having enough rage to pummel or fear. But chances are you're going to be okay with that. But yeah, that's a Slam spec. Slam is kind of... It's okay. It does hit kind of hard. I'm not in love with it. I think I'd rather have a little bit of utility. And I also think the idea of thunderclapping Rend around is kind of a fun idea for like BGs and whatnot. We're about to start doing a bunch of BGs and whatnot. So I'm going to play this today. I'm going to tinker around with my keybinds and see how it feels. I don't hate Slam, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think I'd rather just press Heroic Strike and call it good. So that's what I'm going to do today. In terms of like just like talents, that's the breakdown. I don't know how much more information you really need. But your main rotation for arms in Kata is probably going to mostly... So I go back and forth on this. You probably want to like charge Hamstring and Rend first, and then Colossus Smash, Mortal Strike, Overpower. And then you just kind of just go with it. You just go with your procs. Mortal Strike on cooldown is probably the priority. For bursting, I mean, you probably want to get a Colossus Smash once we get one. But you can see we've got like all this dots everywhere, which is kind of cool. So for bursting, you're probably going to press like Deadly Calm, C Smash, and then just slam Heroic Strikes and whatever else you got. You know, just crush Heroic Strike as long as you've got your Deadly Calm up. And keeping Ren on a target just happens. And then you can, after Deadly Calm is over, you can press Inner Rage and spam Heroic Strike a little bit more for some more burst. That's kind of how it seems to me. I don't know why my Blade Storm macro is like looking like, I don't know what it is, but anyway. Of course, bursting with Wreck is gonna be kind of the same thing, but yeah, just crushing him with Heroic Strike or with Mortal Strike. After Colossus Smash, Mortal Strike on cooldown. Spread Rend around if you get the feeling like it. I feel like whenever you have like 70 rage is a good time to Heroic Strike. And then, you know, I'm not doing it right now, but keeping up Hamstring is nice. Remember, you can double root, or you can double Hamstring for a root. And just blasting. In terms of macros and stuff to get me started, I don't really use that many macros. Maybe just like, I'll show you a couple. Just things that send you into a stance for things that need to be in a stance, like Disarm or Intervene. You could always macro your trinkets in with Deadly Calm and Heroic Strike. This is a mouse over. I'm trying to think of anything that's like in particular. Like all these macros that I'm writing are probably going to be very similar to the macros that I've made in like Modern WoW. So any of my old macro videos would be good. But I guess the one like this, I make a set called Shield, and I use Equip Set Shield to make sure that I get my spell reflection off with the shield out. But I think with Warrior, you can get away with not that many macros, except for maybe some focus macros, right? Like I have I did make a focus heroic throw, which is just like cast at focus heroic throw, right? So like I'm hitting this dude, right? Beating on this guy. This guy's casting a heal. Pow, silence that man. Then same kind of thing. We have like a focus fear as well. Zip on over there, fear that guy, heroically back, and just keep going to work. Now I want to have a focus throw down. I forgot where I bound that. Did I bind over here? I don't think so. I don't have charge yet, but anyway, go over here, knock that dude down. Go over here, just deeps, and I think most of the time I'm gonna use throw down on the kill target, and just let silence and fear kind of be my like off CC. That's how it's looking though. And if you need help with macros, just any of my macros videos will show you how to write a focus macro. I mean, I even use like a cast sequence right now for Thunderclap. So like, I have the cast sequence set up to cast Thunderclap and then cast Demoralizing Shout right after. But if 6 seconds goes by, the macro resets and it'll start casting Thunderclap again. That's kind of a cool one. So if you get like disarmed, you just like, do both your shouts and wait out the disarm, then just get back to work. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Arms are gonna be fun, I think. With the addition of this little like focus heroic throw utility, that's kind of neat. Fear's on a 2-minute cooldown, so you're not gonna like let that rip too frequently. But so I feel like you do use Fear as a offensive CC nowadays in Cata, whereas like in Modern WoW, you're mostly using it to peel. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, hope that helps you guys get started in terms of like the builds and the glyphs. In terms of gear, my gear is trash. What I'm gonna be probably doing is just getting as much honor gear as I can. Probably mostly making sure I have like 5% hit. I need to go fix that because I don't have it right now. Maybe getting a little bit of expertise, and then probably mostly stacking crit. I think mastery is cool, but I don't think it's worth stacking over crit. I think haste is mostly just useless. So go strength, crit, mastery. Make sure you have 5% hit. And I don't know how much expertise you want, but I mean, like, I have this much right now. We'll find out. But in terms of gearing, just get all your honor gear, and you'll be ready to go for PvP to start the season. That's how I'm getting it started. We'll definitely keep the information flowing for you guys on YouTube and stuff, and also, you know, playing a ton every day on Twitch. So that's the build I'm playing today, and we got some work to do, man. So let's get to doing BGs. Queue them up, send it. Let's do it.